Joe's Horny Pie. This comes to us on page 71 of Sugar Butter Flour, the official Waitress pie book, under the section Savory Pies. Between my birthday and the birth of my nephew, I'm starting to feel a bit like an old goat. So I thought it was fitting to make a recipe that could only be eaten by certified old people. Southern Fried Tomato Pie. Starting with a crust made from 2 cups worth of crushed up Ritz crackers. Though really any brand of butter cracker will do nicely. This feels familiar. Reserve a half cup of crumbs to use for later. And then goes the butter for all the rest of them. Now you can also make this crust out of saltine crackers, but I personally do not enjoy the mouthfeel of wood glue. Plate it up. Chill this for 15 minutes and then bake at 350 for 10 minutes, letting it cool completely after. We need 6 sun-ripened tomatoes, and we're gonna slice them up using a serrated knife. Now ideally you would have a mix of both red and yellow tomatoes. Unfortunately I don't have access to yellow tomatoes, so the taste is only going to be slightly different. Place 2 layers of paper towels on a couple of wire racks. Cover them in a half a teaspoon's worth of salt, and let this sit for 15 minutes to let the salt suck the moisture out of the tomatoes. Blot the tomatoes dry. Now ideally you would be placing the wire racks in your kitchen sink to do this, but mine is not big enough, so I'm just using a large baking sheet instead. Place half of the tomatoes in the pie shell, and we'll set it aside for now while we work on another layer of filling. Chop up scallion, 2 tablespoons worth of the stuff. Place them in a bowl, along with a half a cup of mayonnaise, lemon zest, and a tablespoon of the juice too. A 1/4 of a teaspoon of celery seed, not celery salt. What, you want salt with your salt? A 1/4 a teaspoon of black pepper, and a half a cup of goat cheese. Mix it up, spread it over the tomatoes. Chop up 3 tablespoons worth of basil leaves and sprinkle the basil over the filling. And arrange the rest of the tomatoes onto that. In another small bowl, we pour in the reserved half cup of Ritz crumbs, a 1/3 of a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese, and a tablespoon of melted butter. Combine, sprinkle over the top of the pie, and bake this at 350 for a half hour, letting it cool completely afterwards. And once you get the pie cool completely, cover it up in foil, set it in the refrigerator until it's chilled. But this process in the recipe, I actually had to rush a little bit. When the pie had 15 minutes left to bake, my sister called me to tell me she was in labor. So hopefully, by the time this video is posted, my nephew would have been born yesterday morning. Alright, let's see how this baby looks. Oh my goodness gracious. Top it off with some more basil leaves. And there you have it. Old Joe's Horny Pie. The first thing that hit me was the acidity. It's acid on top of sour, on top of salty, on top of crunchy, on top of salt, on top of buh. I have the sudden urge to crash into a nursing home, but I can't say that it's revolting, because the more bites of this that I take, the more the extreme flavors start to mellow out on the palate. You really feel the smokiness of the goat cheese on the back end. The celery and the basil bring out the natural flavors of the tomato. These flavors are an acquired taste, and I probably won't be going out of my way to make this again anytime soon, unless I get hit with a case of Kimberly Akimbo disease. But what the hell do I know? Go grab your own copy of Sugar Butter Flour, the official Waitress pie book, so that you too can make your own version of Old Joe's Horny Pie. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Waitress Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one.